So you've got $1,000 that you want to invest, but you have no idea where to put your money. Then you're definitely in the right spot. I'm gonna give you guys a few different ways to invest $1,000 that are all gonna vary depending on how much risk you guys wanna take on. So I'm gonna start with the least risky investment all the way to the most risky investment. And obviously it goes without saying, the most risky investment is gonna be the one that makes you the most money. But we'll get to that later in the video. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in with the safest way to invest $1,000, which is going to be investing in ETFs.
Hey, I don't know what an ETF is.
That's cool. I'm gonna explain exactly what an ETF is in like 10 seconds or less. So basically an ETF is a type of fund that tracks the performance of an index or a certain sector in the stock market. Now I know that sounds like gibberish, but it's gonna make sense in like 30 seconds, I swear. But let's take the S&P 500 for example. This is a fund that contains the top 500 publicly traded companies and pretty much tracks the entire performance of the stock market as a whole. So what makes this such a safe investment option is that you are investing in a small percentage of the top 500 companies. If one company goes down by like 20% in one day, it's not going to affect you as much because the S&P 500 may only have 1 or 2% of the actual company in the fund. So it doesn't hurt your investment if the company's stock price tanks. Let's say you invested $1,000 into the S&P 500 in May 2020. Right now, your investment would be worth around $1,411, which means that you made $411 without doing any work at all. That sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. There's a bunch of different ETFs to invest in that aren't the S&P 500, but I like to say that the S&P 500 is your best friend. And you can trade all of these ETFs on apps like Robinhood or Webull. My first $1,000 investment was actually in the S&P 500. It's pretty much the safest investment option you can have without having the risk of actually losing any of your money. Okay, so let's say you don't want to make $400 in 2 years because you want to make real Wolf of Wall Street type of money. Then I think this next investment option is probably better for you. Investing in individual stocks. While investing in ETFs is much safer than investing in individual stocks, you won't have anywhere near the same amount of gains. Like, nowhere near it. Let's put it into perspective. If you made a $1,000 investment on SPY 5 years ago, right now your money would be worth $1,950. That's a 95% return on your investment with literally little to no risk. But let's see what happens if we make the same investment on something like Tesla. So we'll use the exact same metrics, $1,000 investment in 5 years. Right now, you would be sitting on $19,330. That's almost a 2,000% return. That's absolutely bonkers, and it's absolutely possible to do if you invest $1,000 right now. The reason why is because the stock market is currently in shambles, so stocks like Netflix, AMD, Nvidia, and Microsoft are all down tremendously. And if you made a $1,000 investment into any one of those stocks right now, you would make some serious cash. In fact, the stock market is in such a bad place right now due to the whole Omicron variant that I think you could spin a wheel with a bunch of stocks on it, and whichever one it lands on, you invest $1,000 in, and you would still make money. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so I've got my handy dandy wheel here that I'm gonna spin, and whichever stock it lands on, I'm going to invest $1,000 into it right now. I really hope I get AMD. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God. Elon Musk himself. All right, that decides it. We're gonna put $1,000 into Tesla right now. Okay, so we're on my Robinhood, and we are gonna go ahead and buy $1,000 worth of Tesla. So all you have to do is hit review, swipe up, and once you see order received, it should show up with complete, and there you go. We just purchased $1,000 worth of Tesla. Considering Tesla's down like 4% right now, I do think that investment will come back up sometime in the future, so it's a pretty good one. In a future video, I will show you guys exactly how much money I made on that investment right there. All right, let's talk about cryptocurrency. I believe that investing in cryptocurrency is more risky than investing in any form of the stock market. But those returns are spicy. We saw huge crypto names like Ethereum and Bitcoin hitting massive all-time highs last year. And one of the biggest questions asked in 2021 was, should I invest in crypto and what coins should I invest in? Even huge corporations like Walmart and Nike and Adidas are getting into things like the metaverse and NFTs, which makes it obvious that cryptocurrency is one of the best things that you can invest in 2022. So the question is, what coins do you invest in with $1,000? What I would do is split 75% between Ethereum, Bitcoin, and
and Solana. The reason why is because those three are very stable coins, and I honestly don't think that they're ever going to drop completely. And the other 25% I would put into meme coins like Doge, Shiba, and that one coin that Elon made, I don't know what it's called. The reason why I would put 25% into those coins is because some of those coins see 1000% returns within like months. And honestly, I think it's a pretty good idea. If you get lucky on one, you definitely would make a pretty big return. Speaking of picking the right one, I'm gonna include NFTs as a part of cryptocurrency, but honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't invest in NFTs just because they're a little too risky for me, and honestly, I lost all my money when trying to do NFTs for a week. For me, it's not the best investment, but if you do your research and learn how to trade NFTs properly, I do think it could be a pretty good investment in 2022. I gotta get out of here, it's so cold outside.
The last, most risky, and my favorite way to invest $1,000 is options. People bash options because they are 100% the most risky investments you can make, but people have made crazy amounts of money by investing into options. Like this guy who turned 6K into $430,000 overnight. And the first time I saw success in options is back in 2019 when I invested $1,200 in Virgin Galactic contracts. I ended up turning that $1,200 into $3,000 within 30 minutes. Let me give you a basic explanation of how options works really quickly. So an options contract gives you the right to own 100 shares of a stock for much cheaper than if you were to buy 100 shares outright. And you have either two directions for a stock price to go, up or down. If you think the price of a stock is gonna go up, then you're gonna buy call options. Whereas if you think the price of a stock is gonna go down, then you're gonna buy put options. So let's take the stock Microsoft for example. If you buy a call on Microsoft saying that Microsoft will be worth $305 by January 28th, then you get the right to own 100 shares of Microsoft at $5.40 a share, or $540 in total. Now, if you were to buy 100 shares of Microsoft outright, you would spend $29,600. Like I said earlier, bonkers. And there's tons of other ways to make money in options too. Covered calls, leaps, spreads. There's plenty of things that you can do that will make you a ton of profit with only $1,000 invested. If you guys want a full tutorial of how to invest in options, then leave a comment down below. No, seriously, leave a comment. I need it for the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to me because I need as much support as I can possibly get. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.